Hello all. So today we're going to see about the topic exceptions to the law of demand and perverse demand curves. Veblen effect. Thorstein Veblen in his doctrine of conspicuous consumption has pointed out that there are some goods which are purchased not for their intrinsic worth but for their snob appeal or prestige value. Veblen calls this type of consumption as conspicuous consumption, and these articles are demanded by very rich people for their social prestige as articles of ostentation. So you may see that people of a rich person will tend to buy diamond because he considers it as a prestige or prestigious object. So he tends to buy diamond for to show that he's in a good status in the society. So when prices of such goods rise, their use become more attractive and they are purchased in large quantities. So diamond is usually of greater amount to buy. Only a good rich person can afford diamond. So that's what they're saying. If butter becomes more costly, the rich will buy more of it to show that they are rich enough to afford it. So as you see, not all the people who are living around can afford butter if it costs much. Just to show that they're rich, they'll buy butter if the cost rises. So imagine if the price of some goods are very cheaper, the rich would not even buy it. They would not tend to buy it. In commodities having status symbol or prestige, because of the conspicuous consumption, more will be demanded at a higher price and less will be demanded at a lower price. This is one of the exceptions to the law of demand. So now we are going to deal speculative effect. In a speculative market, when people deal in stocks and shares, buy and sell securities to make profit, the law of demand in the general sense may not apply. They will buy more and more shares when the prices are rising in the anticipation of further rise. So think, for instance, stock market. People tend to buy a large number of stocks when the stocks are rising, and they'll tend to stop buying when the prices are less. So the same thing may happen in any commodity which are dealt in speculative markets, but it's a short phenomenon. Giffen effect. So Giffen effect or Giffen paradox. Sir Robert Giffen discovered that poor people will demand more of inferior goods if the prices rise and demand less if the prices fall. In the 19th century Ireland, Giffen found that people were so poor that they spend the major part of their income on potatoes and small part on meat. To fill up the resulting gap, more potatoes had to be purchased. Thus, rise in the price of potatoes led to increase the sale of potatoes. This is what is called as Giffen paradox. Poor people consuming large amount of inferior cereals find their real money income falling whenever there is a rise in price of the inferior goods. Hence, they will reduce the expenditure on the superior items and conserve their little income and demand more of their inferior commodity. And given goods means inferior goods. In these cases, the law of demand has an exception. So to be short, low people on low budget or economical, they used to buy things which fit in within their budget. If it goes above their budget, they won't usually tend to buy it. That's what given paradox. It's like demanding goods of lesser price. That's what called given paradox or given effect. Scarcity, inflation, price sedition, etc. The law of demand will not operate in times of acute scarcity and shortage of commodities. During this period, in spite of increasing prices, people will rush to buy fearing non-availability of goods. I think this is a time of demonetization. At that time there was lack of notes, money. At the time, what people did was like there was scarcity of people buying the goods. They didn't have that much money in hand to buy it, so they were rushing. In spite of increasing prices, the prices were also increasing. People will rush to buy, fearing non-availability of goods. The case of necessities, also people will buy more in the event of increase in prices. The country is in hyperinflation. People will be like increasing their demands, fearing that the price would further still go up. So the law will not operate in the goods whose quality is judged by the price. Some consumers will be deluded by the price under the notion that high priced articles are superior and low priced articles are inferior. Due to this price delusion, what people think is like, just think about an example where you go buy diamond and buy a water bottle. So what do? Diamond is like so costly, it's like cost a fortune. And what will happen is, to buy diamond, you'll think that it's of a high priced article, and water, it's like low price article, but still water is more precious than diamond. Right? Due to the price delusion, people will demand more of the commodity if the price increases. This holds good in cases of fancy and far fashion articles like, lipstick, creams, powders, and other articles of personal attraction. Yeah. Professor Benham, mentions the case of a book of photographs published before the First World War at a low price. The book had a very poor demand. The price was increased, considerably after the war. The book had a very good demand. This is only an exceptional case. Yeah, so nice. Veblen Group versus Giffen. Okay. Both Giffen goods and Veblen goods are special cases of goods where the demand for the goods is different from what we intuitively expect. The most goods are normal goods, meaning that we buy more of them and the prices decreases. This is not the case for Giffen and Veblen goods. Thus, both goods are exceptions to the law of demand. Despite the commonality between Giffen goods and Veblen goods, there is also like important differences between the both. And so this gives us a very brief discussion about what both means. Veblen goods versus Giffen goods. Okay, so we might have, then what is the difference between Veblen goods and Giffen goods if both have an upward sloping demand curve? So the difference is that while normal goods can become Giffen goods where the Giffen effect is at play. The effect can disappear again. At that point, the demand curve becomes sloping downward again. This is in contrast to Veblen goods, where the relationship is typically not temporary. The demand for luxury goods, typically does not normalize for a while. After a while, instead, the upward sloping demand curve typically continues to hold for a long period of time. So I would also like to introduce to you some, effects. The Veblen effect is one of the family of theoretical anomalies in the general law of demand in microeconomics. There are some related effects, the snob effect, for example, the common law of business balance, the hot hand fallacy. So let's see about these effects too. Snob effect expressly, expressed preference for goods because they are different from those commonly preferred. In other words, for consumers who want to use exclusive products, price equality. So, the common law of business balance. The low price of a good indicates that the producer may have compromised quality. That is, you get what you pay for. Okay, that's what they mean. The hot hand fallacy. Stock buyers have fallen prey. The fallacy that previous price increases suggest future price increases. Other rationales for buying a high priced stock are that previous buyers who bid up the price are proof of the issue's quality, or conversely, that an issue's low price may be evidence of viability problems. Sometimes the value of a good increases as the number of buyers or users increases. This is called the bandwagon effect, when it depends on the psychology of buying a product because it seems popular, or the network effect in a large number of buyers or users itself increases the value of good. For example, as the number of people with telephones or Facebook accounts increased, the value of having a telephone or Facebook accounts increased because the user could reach more people. However, Neither of these effects have suggested that raising the price would boost demand at a given level of saturation. So in history, when we take about Julius Caesar thing, he as also there is an instance where there had been Veblen effect in 75 BC. So that's all for today, and thank you so much for watching.